I will invite you now to please, those who want to contribute with final expressions of your experience, your feelings in this moment, please pop in and be brief, very brief, because we are all tired and we all want to go to the later in the bar, or on our own or together. That please just raise your hand and come in.
Would I be allowed to start this, if I may?
Please, Ian.
I've been part of Syntegrations as a member. I've been part of Syntegrations as a design team, not this one. I'm part of Syntegrations as a facilitator. I know the complexity of putting this event together. It's hard enough when there's many of you working face to face around whiteboards and doing it in real time. Doing it online is a whole other challenge. I congratulate you.
Thank you.
The technology infrastructure kept together. It didn't fall over. I'm very impressed with that. I really am. And I've learned a few things about the tech. There's been some bumpy bits along the way with the facilitation, but what I've also observed is a learning system in action. And congratulations for that.
Well, come in.
Well, lastly, for me, the notion of responding to the current crisis for me is very pertinent. I got COVID-19 at the back end of last year, and it ain't nice. Okay, so for me, that's why I've just been silent for quite a few months. But actually seeing this team work towards responding to that in a cybernetic stroke systems way means a huge amount to me. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to use the opportunity to congratulate the organizing team. Stefan, Peter, Elena, John, David, our facilitators, Lucas, Andrea, Maya, Pedro Pablo, please, thank you very much. It's been an amazing work as a team. Thank you very much.
Could I come in with my tuppence worth?
Yes, David.
I just want to say that I need to investigate something called the David Beatty effect. I really do. Over the last 25 years of doing Syntegrations, David has been instrumental in my 3 favorite Syntegrations over this quarter of a century, and one of those 3 is this one.
Yeah, my goodness.
I'm really amazed at what you guys have brought together. I won't repeat what Ian said, other than to say and to add that you've done what you've done so professionally, but also with a lot of warmth and a lot of grace. And that's something that doesn't always find its cybernetic language. But I've really felt respected by all of you. Your motivation has been enormous. Your passion has been fantastic. I want to absolutely really bring up spotlight to Lucas and Maya, who were fabulous facilitators and really helped us in our work. I just want to say, I hope this continues. I think this is a very powerful medium. And if we can solve the obstacles about scaling it and using it as widely as possible, I think it's a huge success. Congratulations. And I'm really privileged to have been invited to the party. I really am happy to have been here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David.
I just want to, Andrea, Maya, David, you guys were amazing, and you made the whole thing, which has a lot of built-in anxiety and frustration. You made it quite human, and I thank you each individually and collectively, along with all the other facilitators that I didn't get to work with.
I would second what everybody has just said. This has been fantastic. I also found myself, I don't know where all that noise is coming from. I also found myself wanting to be part of about 8 different working groups, which is clearly not possible.
Thank you.
I don't know what's going on here with my...
It's feedback, Barry.
Thank you very much, Barry.
Yeah, I would also like to reiterate what everybody just said. I mean, knowing how complex this is and how also complicated it is to put all this together, and the amount of work that you must have all put in. I salute you really, and thank you so much for the facilitators. The 2 ahead, you were brilliant, and the learning curve was great. You did it for the first time. It was IHAD, so that was really an awesome job. And I thank my group members. It was really fun. It was great groups, great topics. And I look forward to what's going to come, both in terms of eSyntegration as such, and as well as content-wise, you know, to keep working with all of you. And it was great to see you all again. Those that I had already known, and to meet so many people that I hadn't known, actually, it was a real pleasure. So thank you very much for having me, and to all the organizers and the organizing team, thank you so much. We're amazing.
Thank you.
I was trying to make a suggestion as well. Since there are so many similar initiatives or initiatives that are overlapping, I think an early project for us is to have a venue for seeing how these various initiatives and working groups maybe fit together into a smaller number of initiatives. And I don't know how to do that, but it seems to me that should be an early order of business. And thank you, everybody. This has been fantastic for me.
Thank you, Barry.
I'd like to
simply
I'd
have
like
to
to
echo
follow
what
that.
everybody was saying. Just a thank you to the organizers.
Thank you, Raghav.
I'd like to follow Barry. I'd echo, it's been a fantastic experience being part of this, one I'll remember for an awful long while. And I would just like to say that as someone who is involved in working with local neighbourhood groups and communities in Fife, and looking to extend that and to start to join some of those communities together across the UK, I see the opportunity here to join with some of the other groups that have been taking part, not just the ones that I've been taking part in. For instance, the Purple Group, talking about groups focused around the economic thing. And I'd really like to be part of seeing some of this actually turn into action.
Great, Jean. Thank you very much. Mark, did you say? All right. Sorry.
I think Ian's next. He's got his hand up, and me and Jeremy.
Okay, go on.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've already. That's just me not putting my hand down. But there is something I'd like to add. Last week I learned something new, which is the notion of 10-10-10. And when you experience something, think about how you might think about it looking back in 10 days' time. Then think about how you might think about it looking back in 10 months' time. And then think about how you might think about it looking back in 10 years' time. And this to me feels like one of those events. This might just be a pivotal moment.
Wonderful, Ian. Kate.
First of all, I just wanted to say thank you very much for the opportunity to participate, and my compliments and my awe to the organization. This is a massive endeavor, and I think there's been lots of bumps, and it's been complicated and messy and frustrating, but it's created a space, and this is the groundbreaking work. And so I thank you all enormously for the commitment, and also has been said several times for the wonderful energy. I think it's very important. Don't take yourself too seriously, and yeah, I think we've done a great job with that, and it makes it easier so to deal with the difficult questions. And thank you for being attentive to the majority world. It's hard to reach out.
Thank you, Kate. Jeremy.
I would like to make a suggestion if it doesn't break the mold, which is when I did Metaforum last time in 2019, I met all these fabulous people and we had all these great plans, and then real life clobbered us and I didn't really accomplish very much from what I had pledged myself to do. What I'd love to be able to do is, even as soon as the 29th, have things built with the people that we've talked about doing other things with, and have just the seeds of them planted. I've made a list of the people that I want to learn more from and the people I would love to work with. And I would very much encourage people to do that, and then reach out to those people and set those networks in motion, set those actions in motion.
Thank you, Jeremy. John?
Yeah, I'd like to just say to everybody, thank you so much for your comments, but also to say that we went into this with more than a little trepidation. This was quite a major undertaking, and we were all extremely nervous the whole thing might fall apart. And I think one of the reasons that it has gone as well as it has is because of you guys. And I'm overwhelmed at the goodwill we've had from all the participants, and the knowledge and the extraordinary experience that's come together in this group. So thank you all very, very much. And I think the other thing is, I was thinking when we started this, how are we going to judge how this worked? And one of the things I was thinking about was to see how many people we'd have at the end. And almost everybody stuck right the way through. And I think that's an extraordinary achievement. So thank you all very, very much indeed.
Thank you, John. Paolo?
Hi, thank you very much. This was an amazing experience. I'm an architect, so I'm a bit of a newbie here, but I can tell you that I was quite nervous in the beginning, but I just felt that we were several groups of people building, little Greek temples by overlooking the sea, a bit unsure in the beginning, but we each one of our groups built something, and the team was just amazing. I mean, every time some tool was needed, or a particular bit of tile or stone was needed, someone would hand it over to us. So it was an amazing experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paolo. Well, Leonie?
Can I go?
Thank you from us.
Sorry. Yeah. Thank you very much. It's been fantastic. I think when you do systems thinking, you're alone in the world. Nobody understands you. You find yourself railing against people who don't understand what's happening in the world. So it's really great to be able to come to somewhere where people know what you're talking about. And it's very much, I think, a place where there's a lot of energy. So I think that's very, very good for the future. I would like to work on this process, because I think it needs to move forward. Cybernetics has been in a low spot for a lot of years, and I think its time should come. We've just got to find a way of doing it.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Leonie?
So I just want to say thank you, not only for myself, who's been absolutely excellent, but I do want to let you know that Dilki would have joined us today, but where she lives, they've got no power today. So she had, on the phone, she wasn't charged. So that's why Dilki is not here. She was in absolute overall by all of this. It's a very new experience. And so I just want to say that Dilki knows it's really been a huge plus for her, and certainly a huge plus for me, like for everybody else. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Leonie. Jens, and then David Boyle and David Beatty.
I already gave my comments. I came here for the global goals, and I think it has been amazing, and that you're all heroes. Thank you for your contribution for the global goals.
Thank you, Jens. David Boyle. Where are you? Don't know what happened with David Boyle.
He's muted. David, you have to unmute.
David, yes.
He's left the theater.
Left the building.
Yeah.
Right.
He'll be back. There he is. David, we're waiting to hear from you.
Sorry, I don't like to be muted, but I was muted. Yes. No, I want to say thank you to everyone. It's been a fabulous experience. It's been surreal, lovely, fun, challenging, emotional, complicated, confusing, stressful, a few laughs, and I want to just say that the work has just begun. The hard work is just about to begin, and I invite you all to the bar to start the hard work straight afterwards.
Great. Marta?
Yes, thank you so much. I want to say thank you to Angela for having invited me. although my English is so bad, and I'm sorry I couldn't, but for my group and myself and my projects and everything, I was not able to express all what I would like to, but I just want to let you know that there's a whole space here, a whole of initiatives which are waiting for all these to really help on doing this shift. So we are passionate, and I'm happy to hear all the other projects that I couldn't participate in these meetings because they were at the same time. And I saw there's a lot of real possibilities in some other groups which I couldn't reverberate or even not go to act as an observer because observing them because they were at the same time as my group. But you develop very well, and they give me I think there's a possibility because there were more groups that are going more into action, and that's what we're looking for. Thank you so much, and congratulations for such an amazing work. And I'm so happy meeting such an amazing group of people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marta. Hugh.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you too. It's great meeting so many people, very interesting in a condensed period of time. Yeah, and hopefully some of those might turn into friendships. So I'm really very impressed with what you put together, and I think it's a really good start. Thank you.
Thank you. I cannot see more hands up. Anyone?
Yes,
David?
Yeah.
Stefan.
I'd like to say that Safford taught me two words that stayed with me, or two things. And first one was gobsmacked. And I think if he were here today, he'd be gobsmacked at what we've done with his work. And the second thing I came to mind, and he might say, is Posywid. The purpose of disintegration is what it does. I'll see you all on the 29th. It's been a pleasure stumbling and dancing together, and particularly with the colleagues who worked so hard on the e-technology that we were able to use. I think Peter and Stefan and John in particular did a super job. Thanks.
Thank you. Lucas?
I think we are really in the time where cybernetics will be one of the only methods to deal with the complexity, which is day by day increasing. And I think there is some momentum which really can bring a breakthrough. And I guess disintegration is one really of these parts to make it possible to deal with such complex topics in small groups to really bring outcomes which are really incredible. And it's always stunning to see what is happening in such a short time under such pressure. And it was a pleasure to be part of the whole. And I'm really thankful for that I was asked that I could take part and participate as a facilitator. And I wanted to share, just thank you all.
Thank you. Stefan?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to, I'm not sure if I will be able to say this. I have a tendency of tearing up and being overly emotional. Thank you, Ian. This is a good move, I guess. But give me a second, please.
Shall I ask Martin to...
No, please. Just allow for a moment of silence, please. No, I just want to say, David, 2011, you organized disintegration, and that's when we became friends. And my gosh, some evolution has happened, and it's certainly I just want to say it's your achievement, man.
I would like to point out that Stefan is probably not the only one shedding a few tears of joy, exhaustion, exhilaration at the culmination of this event. And thank you for sharing that with us, Stefan.
I also want to say that it was Stefan and David who inspired us in the Metaforum to start this project. It was their presentation in 2019 in eSyn who got me engaged in this idea, and it's been thanks to them and thanks for the amazing technical skills and facilitation skills of Stefan that we've gone so far, and Peter. I mean, and they've been really, really important to help John and me and Elena to go ahead with the experiment. So, I mean, really, really big applause for Stefan and the team. Really.
Yeah. We love you, Stefan.
Yeah.
We do love you, Stefan.
Well, Peter really, really deserves a very, very big warm embrace here. I mean, it's amazing. We've really grown to become a team. And it's very lovely to really notice that actually so many of the things that we're saying about taking action and those things, I'll be very brutally honest when I say that I was at the Metaforum conference and felt like, oh my gosh, is this how cyberneticians share knowledge? This is, well, I was in deep shock, but apparently that's good for learning. I'm very surprised that afterwards I really developed very warm, welcome relationships with people that have turned into collaboration, which became very, very engaging. It's a bit like a rabbit hole sucking up way too many, more time than is available, but that's a very good sign. And it is very well feasible. So I hope, we collectively, we can continue that pattern because it's certainly worthwhile.
Okay, we have Martin and then Peter, okay?
Thank you very much, Stefan, for sharing these emotions with us. And I believe they reflect the big effort that all of you have put into this. So also on my behalf, thank you very much. Everything has been said, but not yet by everyone. So I don't want to repeat too much. It was an important and it was a critical experiment, I believe, because as I said at the beginning, I'm wondering whether reverberation as the core concept of integration really will work in that environment. And my conclusion is it does. So I consider this really as a big start of something. And thank you very much. That's my last sentence. For the listening that I experienced it, I think there was a lot of listening in this integration. And that is due to all the wonderful participants here. Thank you very much to the organizers and everybody who participated.